Whoops, I better copy that. I'm gonna need that later. Oop. Oh god, why is it doing that? Oh well. Yes. And I actually told everyone that we're streaming for once. Hooray. Don't echo, please. Thank you.
Okay, before we get started, I wanted to let everybody know that I came across a bunch of wines for Star Trek, including Klingon blood wine.
Oh, nice.
You came across a what now?
I came across an ad that was advertising the limited edition collection of Star Trek wines.
Oh, wines. Yeah, sorry, I didn't catch that.
Oh, you silly thing.
It's a set of 6 wines. A couple are from the Federation. There's a Klingon blood wine. There's an Andorian blue ale. And Cardassian Kenor red.
That's the wrong button. Yeah. On that happy note of such things, hello everyone. Welcome to the second battle of the House SupQit'aH, the Rimward campaign. The episode title, Reaching Power. We have some new people joining along, and if everyone seems a little ornery with me, that's because I haven't ran for a while, but we're back, and we're going to be gaining glory for the Empire, or killing each other. I'm not sure which yet, but that's what we're going to find out together. Glory and honor to House SupQit'aH. Hello, author. About time, silly Klingons and their lack of understanding of time. Yes, it's entirely their fault. It has nothing to do with me, or my bad planning decisions. So, we will get right into it. So last we left off with the Honorable House SupQit'aH and its loyal warriors. They had a war council to decide what they're going to do in the Rimward regions of the galaxy, abutting their allies, the Federation. House SupQit'aH was given the task, a quest, if you will, by the Chancellor, Chancellor Martok, to expand the influence of House SupQit'aH and the Klingon Empire thereby, because House SupQit'aH recently became a great house, and a great house with a seat on the High Council. So being a governor over one sector is not enough to ensure the safety and security of the Empire. And besides, we need to make sure that those Federation types don't get too big for their britches out in the Rim, since they are enacting a Silk Road initiative of some variety. But the first place we go to is aboard the capital ship, the flagship of House SupQit'aH, which would be the Maymok, as Hod Oda is holding a sort of on-ship court to figure out, one, to meet some a new addition to the roles of warriors, and two, to meet up with a somewhat distant relative of the family, as well as get some updates on what the rest of the fleet's been doing for the last couple of weeks, which we'll be going in turn checking in on. But we need music that doesn't sound like complete silence. There we go. So, the first to walk in to the war room will be Sog Eston, a new medical officer who has just returned from an interspecies medical exchange. And if you would describe your appearance or the role, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Eston sort of walks in. He is probably the youngest person aboard the ship that's at his rank of lieutenant. He did not grow up in the Klingon Empire. He grew up actually in the Federation and joined the Interspecies Medical Exchange to come and join the KDF because he figures that doctors are probably needed at this time more than ever. He's has sort of a slight build. You can see that he's not fully Klingon. He is actually a Klingon human hybrid. So he has kind of a soft, not quite adolescent, but definitely younger 20s face with less pronounced cranial ridges. He doesn't have the long, kind of braided and dreaded hair of your normal Klingon. He has sort of a shorter, undercut sort of style on his hair, and he walks in looking incredibly nervous. Just very, very nervous. He's looking around all these surroundings that he's in. He's just incredibly nervous. You can see him. He's sort of looking around and wondering, wondering about the choices that he's made to come here. He sort of walks in and surveys the room.
Your senses are assailed with spices and the rich aroma of blood wine. As you can see, there's there's steins of the stuff filled, a jug full, plates of food just waiting on the side, spices, a target area, and the war table, which also probably has a stain or two of half-forgotten food. Because that's laborers' work, not officers' work. But on the war table is a display of a strategic display of the current sector where you are. You see a lot of highlighted areas and sectors, and you can see like big arrow lines streaking through space of various things that you're not briefed on, so that means not a lot to you. But you recognize it just from training, like that is a strategic table. It's a multi-sector view, which is not something your run-of-the-mill officer worries about at the lower ranks. It's not a thing you have to worry about, but you're in the war room of the most advanced ship, probably one of the most advanced ships in the fleet, in the entire Klingon Empire. Sitting across from you, is Hod Oda Jo SupQit'aH, or Captain Oda, Lord of House SupQit'aH. And at his side is the lore singer Sasir. Lore singers are a type of historian, traditional historian that sings the tales of Klingons in general, but some houses have their own personal lore singer. So yeah. Sasir kind of peers at you, an Orion woman, dressed in the regalia of a lore singer, which is unusual. Almost all lore singers you've ever heard of or read about are Klingon. This is the first one you've seen that's Orion, or not Klingon.
I sort of look at them and give them just like a very casual, short bow of the head, and I look at the captain and sort of stand at a higher attention than I was when I came into the room. I'm sort of all business now. And I say, Surgeon Eston, reporting for duty.
Oda will stand up and move to the side of the war table. He is tall even for a Klingon and kind of imposing. He's wearing that sleeveless cloak of office. Around his throat, you see both the Order of the Batleth and the Star of Kalas. And he kind of studies you intently for a moment.
I try the best that I can to look like I belong.
You are the doctor.
I am indeed, sir. I come to you ready to serve the Empire and to serve your interests. I hope to be a fine addition to your senior staff.
You were not raised within the borders of the Empire, but within the Federation.
That is correct. I grew up on a rather small colony on the outskirts of Federation territory.
But your training has included the latest in Federation medical technology and techniques, as well as research. Correct?
That would be correct, sir. And you can actually see, I always as a doctor, I'm always pretty much prepared, but you can see on my belt that instead of a Klingon tricorder, I have a Starfleet medical tricorder.
A little splash of silver and gray across his uniform, rather than the dark red of most standard issue KDF armament and equipment.
And how would you rate your knowledge of Klingon physiology?
I sort of smirk, and I look up at the captain and say, I am part Klingon. I have operated on dozens of Klingons and dozens of members of other species as well. I am very, very well trained in interspecies medical care. I spent my entire education, as well as all my internships and my residency, with the interspecies medical exchange.
Excellent. I accept your life into my hands. And I reach down the table and pick up a small data disk and slide it across the table to you. This will provide you access to a sealed file in your medical facility's computers. You will study it. I believe you will find the patient it concerns a most interesting case. And GM, that's Oda's records from Efrix and DSE.
Honorable Joe, may I suggest something?
Speak.
We do not know, nor has he declared what house he serves, or if that he speaks for, rather, or if he fights in his own name. He may not be familiar with Klingon etiquette, but it is appropriate that he announce himself such, even if it is overly formal. She waves like she knows you're in a war room, not the Grand Chamber. No one's watching, but she's a lore singer. She has to hold to those traditions.
Very well. Tell me, Sog Easton, have you a house?
Eston sort of hesitates.
You were raised among Earthers, so I know their traditions are different. So if you do not, this will not be held against you.
I do not fight for a current house, but as I am assigned with you, my loyalties are to you, sir.
I kind of raise an eyebrow at Cecile. Do you pledge your life to the Empire?
Yes, Captain.
Do you pledge your after the Empire, do you pledge your life and service to House SupQit'aH?
Eston sort of casts his eyes down and then looks up. Yes, Captain.
What is the name of your father?
My father's name is Marin.
Very well. Eston, son of Marin. As Lord of SupQit'aH and a captain in the Klingon Empire, I accept your life into my hands. May your service bring honor to your family, to our house, and to the Empire.
I think about what the appropriate response to this would be, and I kind of curtly shake my head and say, Kapla!
That's a safe thing to say.
Yeah, always. I kind of side glance at Cecile. Sufficient?
The songs will be sung, although the poetics of Eston will not be well known, yet anyway. She smiles.
Artistic license may be taken.
Yes, I'm not quite I'm very inquisitively like, yeah, I'm not necessarily a poet, I'm a doctor.
We are many light years from the border of the Klingon Empire here, and many more from House SupQit'aH's domain in Bamoth. We are here to carve out a new part of the Empire, to expand the Empire for the greater glory of our houses and of history. In many ways, we will be on our own.
I'm confident that I can serve this crew with valor and with my skill.
Well spoken. Very well.
Just a question, Captain. Is what's I very cautiously step closer and lower my voice. What exactly is on that file that you would have that ready for me?
Oda kind of grins with his, baring his sharpened teeth. The most fundamental thing of all, the heart of a Klingon warrior.
Eston sort of thinks, well, that was really cryptic. All right. Eston shakes his head and goes, enough said. I will begin my work. I back up, bow, and kind of look and see whether I should leave or
Oda
sit.
kind of. I'm assuming we're doing these interviews one at a time. GM is how this is usually.
Generally, yeah.
Yeah. So I just sort of dismiss you with a wave.
Okay. Yeah, I immediately leave, and GM, where exactly is this war room situated inside the ship? Is it like off the bridge, or is it like
It's a mid decks.
Okay, cool. Is there like an area, like an alcove around here where I can just go for a second? Because Eston is feeling very, very relieved, and he wants to sort of decompress away from prying Klingon eyes.
It's a Klingon ship. It's all alcoves, dimly lit.
Yeah.
The entire thing.
So I kind of put my back against the wall and breathe in, breathe out. Okay, time to find wherever the sick bay is, and I sort of walk aimlessly down a hallway.
And away Saugustin goes to find the surgery bay.
Also, GM, just one thing.
Yeah.
I put my title in the name there. It's a surgeon, because that's just my title on the ship, I guess. I could just change it to just my name, but I don't know if you were. Never mind.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Shortly after, another face steps into the audience chamber / war room of the Maymok.
Yeah. Bolvar Chi-Yo will walk in. Maybe slightly taller than average, but not considerably. Wearing Klingon armor, but very muted. There's not any fanfare to it, and she will walk in and say, "Glory to you and yours."
I greet you, Bolvar Chi-Yo of SupQit'aH.
I'm
assuming I would know that she's of the house.
I was about to ask that because I don't know that he knows.
Oh.
Do I know that he knows?
As the head of the house, he would have been informed by his lore singer or by any number of his advisors, because he needs to know where his family is in the event of succession crisis. And
All right.
and Bolvar is monk, by the way, for those of you who don't know. And
I'll still say a slip of surprise will come across her face that you know, because she is not privy to house politics.
yeah, you've kind of been detached from the recent troubles and tribulations of the house until recently.
This is our new advisor. I look at Cecile with a question.
The Bolvar has returned from her duties abroad and sought audience with you. I would presume as well that she seeks to become one of the advisors of the house, since she is not dressed in KDF uniform, nor is she challenging you for leadership, I presume.
I'm not here to challenge Oda. I have no standing. I'm from a junior brother and female. No one would take that claim seriously.
Do not be too sure. The Empire is changing, and our house has yet to recover from the many we lost on Bamoth. Every member of the family is of tremendous value.
I'll give another look of surprise and say, a leader who entertains the idea of being challenged is unique.
It is our way, is it not? If I should fail in my duties, if I should act dishonorably, if in any way I should bring shame on House SupQit'aH, it is within the rights of all members of the family to challenge me. Thus it has been since the time of Kalas.
Yes, but only a strong leader can proclaim it. A weak leader, held by the same standard, could not announce that was the way.
Ha! Well spoken.
But I have come to issue a challenge.
Mm-hmm. Speak.
As you have just declared, it is paramount that our house maintain tradition and move into a new empire. But tradition must always be the first of those two priorities. And I think you are being misled. And I'll look at the lore singer. I have come to challenge her.
Oda laughs in a bit of disbelief, and then kind of stops when he realizes that the Bolvar is serious. On what basis do you bring forth a challenge?
I have heard and have come to accept that the lore singer has used non-honorable methods to obtain her position. I also firmly believe that no one outside of House SupQit'aH could ever be relied on as a lore singer of House SupQit'aH. There are many positions we can bring outsiders into that would be useful, but singing the praises of our house, they have no personal stake, only a stake of what it can bring them.
And yet, did not SupQit'aH himself, the founder of our line and of our house, honor a Kacha, one of the flat-headed ones, as his friend, the great Artur, whose statue stands behind and to the side of that of SupQuit'aH himself in the fort of the fallen. Has not his very first commandment been to always honor the friends of the house, no matter whom they may be, no matter what their species? Is this not part of our tradition as well? As for the lore singer, was it not her when the flaming wreckage of Bamoth Station fell into the planet's surface itself, killing billions? Was it not she who put into my hands the glaive of SupQuit'aH? And I pick it up and kind of ring its spike against the floor. The traditional weapon and sign of leadership of our house. Was it not she who led me and my crew to the Dokchanaka of legend, and who took her station on the bridge and rose with us with disruptors blazing to fight the traitors who would bring our house down? Was it not she who aided me in crafting the reports and singing the songs of our struggle for vengeance, and helped gain us our place upon the High Council? Cecere has been my comrade in battle.
No doubt she has been helpful and has brought success to the house. But complete success, I don't believe she'll bring. As for leaders of bygone days who have had similar advisors, it is not their advisors in their own right that we respect. It is the success and honor that was won by the leader that spreads onto them that we remember.
My Lord Joe.
I look to Cecere.
Not to be excessively rude to one of your might and power, but the challenge is mine to answer. Although I appreciate your praise and your defense, it is my honor that is in question, and my capacity to be your lore singer.
I meant no disrespect, lore singer, or to impugn your honor, of course. And I look to Chio, and I recognize the right of challenge. Again, it is the Klingon way. But it is well that you know exactly who you challenge, for you have been absent for some time. And with blood and with steel, as well as with heart and mind, the lore singer has been of tremendous service to our house and helped to raise us where we are.
If I prevail and the lore singer stands as a Klingon, then I will make sure that that is not forgotten. If I fall, then it does not matter what I think.
Very well. The challenge has been issued. Is it accepted?
Pius Bolvar, Chio. Your name has been known to me since I joined the service of this great house. Your actions abroad honor your father. They honor this house. I would not be in any haste to draw steel against SupQuit'aH blood.
I have not intended nor claimed to do so.
I would offer a lore singer's challenge, if you will. If you can recite histories that I cannot, then I will stand aside before a more eminent mind. Perhaps your studies abroad have taught you something I, at home, have forgotten. If that is acceptable to you, I will not deny you your challenge, after all. And she rests her hand at a blade at her belt, like she's expecting you to jump across the table any second. Like, that's happened to her before.
Trying to remember. I don't think there's any, like, set in stone, like, you know, like in old Europe, there's literally, like, books that describe how the process goes. I don't think there's any, like, formal rule that says that one of us gets to decide on how this is done. It's just like a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah, there are like certain old traditions from thousands of years ago that technically all Klingons are supposed to follow. None do. Some do shooting, some do by ships. It's decided between the duelists, either in the heat of the moment or they just say it aloud to each other. Especially if friends were doing it or allies. They're like, look, let's not kill each other. Let's shoot it out, or let's punch each other out. Others just go, screw it, and they just hit them, and then the fight's on. Because you've already declared your intent. You're not assaulting this person, you're challenging them. She's just giving a different option than the traditional stabbing and shooting options. Which makes sense, given that she's a lore singer. But she's not making the first move, is the obvious thing here. She could on the announcement of challenge just pulled knife and came at you, but she didn't. She presented her argument. But she's ready to fight if you start swinging at her, because she knows she's in the company of Klingons.
No, I think we'll do this in a traditional way. Blood will be spilled. But I will give you time. And later today. That way we can both prepare. For
Very well.
One of us is likely to soon be in Stovacor.
The contest will be held in the whatever the Klingons would call the dojo, in the weapons training room 1. I will assemble. The other members of the house aboard will be assembled, as well as my council, there to witness the outcome of the challenge.
As you say, Honorable Joe. Pious Bolvar.
I will, I'll turn back towards Oda and say, it is an honor to rejoin your service. And I will start to back out. I do have a question about creation and play.
Mm-hmm.
Am I gonna have to wait till I get stabbed the first time, till someone attacks me, or I have to attack someone the first time to get a security score?
You could assign it now, but usually if you would, once the roll came up, you'd be like, okay, I know what number I want in here now.
Okay, so I thought I had to make a roll and then I got to improve a stat.
You can choose it in advance, but usually the creation and play allows you to pick it when it comes up, because you might not know that's what you're going to need right away. You might want to choose the security score now, given what your first thing might be.
Okay, well, so yeah, I was double checking that. I was like, do I have to like try to stab them with a security of 0 first?
The minute you're about to roll, the GM stops you and says, fill in that score. What number is that?
Okay, because there are probably 2 or 3 things related to combat, including focuses and talent.
Yep.
Uh,
The minute
Yeah,
you're
the way
about to
we've
roll,
been-
you can start filling in the blanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah, the
just
way
wanted
we-
to make sure I didn't have to give up a much, basically.
One free round of go on, hit me. I need
Yeah,
points.
like we're full stated NPC. If you could take me down in the first round, you can.
Right.
That would have been terrible.
Yeah, the way we've been doing it is like, okay, so I'm going to, stab this person, so I'm going to take bold security and a focus in bladed weapons or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, I'll go ahead and fill a couple of those in, and I'll announce it whenever
Okay.
we get to
Okay.
that point.
Lowsinger looks to you, Oda, and kind of. You see her finally let go of her dagger and kind of go back to a resting state. You haven't seen her be like that ready for a fight in a while. Because Lowsingers generally aren't the people on the battlefield, but she had it. She was ready to go if she had to. She didn't have a batleth with her, but she's a laborer. She's not, or a civilian. She's not supposed to be well armed, except when being challenged like that. But she's rather calm about the challenge. She doesn't seem very disturbed by it.
I wish you luck, Lorsinger.
Orions are known for making their own luck, and Klingons are known for stealing it. So we'll see who's better at managing their luck. She smiles.
I think our new surgeon may have an opportunity to practice his profession sooner than he might have thought.
At your leisure, Oda, we can, my Lord Joe, we can begin the debriefing of your officers abroad to see how our house fares.
Yes. Continue.
And various faces appear on view screens. Who wishes to report first? When you're reporting, we're going to cut to a flashback of what you've been doing the last couple weeks. So each of you have a turn to write your names in the history books, as it were. Unless you're dead, at which point someone else is going to be reporting for you, and they just have your picture there for, I don't know, memorial reasons?
Like the Oscars.
Dark.
Kargan will be first.
Kargan. So, what has Kargan been up to since the house has gone to... And actually, I will show you where we are, because I don't think you were here for the first episode this season. So,
No, it wasn't. I think it was sailing.
I will
remember.
loop you in. I have a map here, don't I? I do. Okay. So, currently, what the? Hold on. Those shouldn't be there. Shoo. So right now, House SupQit'aH is here in the Chosyu sector. Kind of with a small squadron of ships after recently aiding with the Dawn Machine battle, which happened in this bit of space. Otherwise known as Peugeot Starport Authority space. There was a big machine that basically had to be destroyed. Disabled, but on that machine was the traitor Button-On, who was killed most valiantly in battle. So this is, right now, Kronos is way the heck up that way. Each of these squares are about 20 light years across, so you are, on all this black area is unexplored space. So when the house was hunting down Button-On, they have to go around this way to get there to kill him, and then they came back to get repairs with the Federation, and then they got sent on this new mission. So the question becomes, what would you wish to be doing in service of the house at this time? Because currently, I believe you're still on Kronos, but you could be somewhere else, because within 2 weeks' time. And they were traveling for almost like 100 days from Bamoth or something like that, like a crazy amount of time, because it kept being slowed down. Actually, that's one big thing you probably would be aware of. When Oda tried to move from Bamoth to hunt down Button-On, every governor and their sister and their Targs, like everybody, was slowing him down. Found some reason to get in his way. Some tried to challenge him in open battle. Some small skirmishes. Oops, sorry, we thought you were pirates. Oops, sorry, we thought you were invading us. Various thinly veiled excuses, which slowed down the fleet considerably. But you, as an individual, can get here within 2 weeks or what have you.
So, I don't know if you remember, but I was there. I sat on the throne and stuff.
Oh, yes, you're right. Thank you for reminding me. It has been some time, as you may have recalled. Yes.
Exactly.
So actually, yeah, you're with the squadron right now.
Or I'm on my way back to Kronos.
That's true.
I have left a representative for field promoted a warrior to represent me in my house, or my part of the family and the house, on this mission. And you'll meet him later, I suppose. But yeah, Kargan has been traveling at like warp 6, healing slowly from the stress and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, he hasn't been doing much. He's been playing holodeck golf with the Chancellor via like link. I don't know.
Online golfing, hunting expeditions or golfing sim.
Yeah.
What?
With your friends.
Give me presence plus command difficulty of 3 to see if you were able to glean anything from the Chancellor in your recreational correspondence, as it were.
Fair enough. Presence command, right?
Yes. Yes, indeed. So don't forget that I'm doing
this. Klingon politics as a focus.
Yes. Find it. There it is. Any reroll in there?
Not really. How so?
You're 1 short. You needed 3. You got 2.
Oh, I'm 1 short. All right.
Yeah.
I completely missed the. All right. It's a good question.
What's your department stat for that?
4.
Okay, just checking.
I mean, I could invoke my my assistant. If that's.
Yeah. So Terkasti, I believe, was this guy. Yeah, you could have him assist you. You could presume your secretary is feeding you more information. They could use presence or reason plus command to assist.
All right. Let's see here. Could you run those by me again? I missed.
Reason or presence plus command for the assist.
All right. There we go.
Only taking the first die, but that first die was very helpful. So gain 1 momentum. So you learn that during you're just part of the trip is just getting to relax, unwind. You had a big battle. You know you have more battles to come on Kronos, so you're kind of enjoying yourself. But you are a observant person with a helpful secretary to highlight certain bits of information you overhear, both on the ship and from the Chancellor. You learned that, in general, the Empire... You get the feeling that the Empire and the High Council is a bit wary of the Federation's push to the Rim. They don't like... Because there was a time where the Federation basically snuck by the Romulans and the Klingon Empire, both, and established a foothold on the opposite side of both of them in the Beta Quadrant. So there's actually a rather sizable Federation territory that's kind of boxed in both your Empire and the Romulans. That's annoying, and it's been a point of contention for a while. But the Klingons have found ways to just expand other directions, find new battles. They don't want to fight the Federation for various reasons. If they don't, well, the current Klingon Empire does. There's a lot of Klingon houses that would totally love to reignite the old wars again. Now with this Silk Road initiative, they're pushing basically toward the Rim, and they're expanding out that way, reestablishing new colonies, making new treaties. Meanwhile, nowhere, the Klingon Empire, as, coming back to this map, the Federation's basically moving this way. Now, in theory, they'd be going this way as well. Or this way. Like, they'd expand out and start claiming more and more territory. The Klingons... The traditional method to make someone stop expanding is to attack them. Go to war. Start blowing up some planets. Do some raids. But the Chancellor is trying, through House SupQit'aH, to kind of solve this problem before it becomes one. Sort of thing. They're trying to... show strength, because that's why he was totally fine with a small fleet of ships going out that way. Partially to sate Oda's bloodlust, but also to serve the interests of the Empire. Now, what you've heard through your secretary is that Oda has negotiated a sort of demarcation of spheres of influence, a splitting of the galaxy, where there's basically this invisible line where that way is Federation, this way is Klingon. Now that's been agreed upon by a captain of Starfleet, a fleet captain of Starfleet, and it's working its chain up through the Federation Council and the Admiralty and all that. If it goes through, that makes your job at Kronos a lot easier, and the job of your Zhou a lot easier, because then you don't have to worry about the Federation fighting back and forth over this territory. I mean, Federation wouldn't attack you in open war anyway, but they can do it diplomatically, and they're really good at that diplomatic nonsense. So, but all that said, the Chancellor isn't exactly broadcasting that particular sentiment, because a Klingon who says he's not eager to kill some people sounds weak. Even if it's the smart move, even if it's the best move you could do right now, it still sounds weak to a lot of Klingons. It might engender challenges and civil disputes and so on. So he's kind of keeping this under his hat, but it's not secret. If anyone looked it up, they'd see what he was doing. He's announced stuff on the High Council. The communications with Oda are KDF record. Anyone could look it up if they wanted, but he's not exactly going on the steps of the palace and shouting it for all to hear.
So I'm gonna ask this bluntly.
Yes.
To his face when we meet in like a holiday golf simulator. What do you want me to do?
Chancellor Martok would tell you that he wants this to be a SupQit'aH conquest. If SupQit'aH gets more help, make sure SupQit'aH is the one at the lead. Make sure no one else is taking the lead on the conquest, because There are allies to Martok, but SupQuit'ah's the strongest, is the most loyal of them, and he'd rather that alliance, should a challenge come his way, or if someone tries to push for civil war, it's better to have that base of operations at a distance be able to come back. So make allies, but make sure SupQuit'ah stays on the winning end of it. If someone wants to come down there and just look around, keep them out. Other things he'd like you to do would be keep an eye out for anyone who's looking to angle their way after Bemoth, because right now it's probably not going to be 100% obvious, but over time people are going to clue in that the Bemoth sector doesn't have the house leader there, and a bulk of his forces aren't there. There's still a fleet back there, and Martok will try to help if he can, but if you give him a heads up that something's coming for Bemoth, he can start pushing houses to help. So those are the main things. The last thing as well, I guess, he's not as concerned with this, but you asked him. Martok would want you to keep an eye on the Federation, and if at all possible, try to make sure that that treaty goes through, or warn him if it's slowing down for some reason, so he can start putting pressure on them. Because if that division doesn't come up and some counselor back in the Federation says no to this or vetoes it, that creates complications, because that means Starfleet's going to start interfering with SupQuit'ah's plans, and he does not want to get into that fight if he doesn't have to. But if he's gonna, he might as well know about it ahead of time, so you can warn your house leader and he can start making his moves as well.
All right. So I'm gonna set up a pretty large task. If I remember how to do that correctly. In part political campaign, part information gathering, and part I don't know, like boxing tournament. Not entirely sure. So the political campaign in this case is that I'm gonna enforce and put the information out there to, like, at whatever party I get invited to on the way back to Klingon space, or whatever party I crash at. That, yeah, you know this deal. This is happening. I've heard that it's going well in the Starfleet chain of command, and they are agreeing. We'll see how far this goes. But remember, that's Klingon space. And information gathering in that, I want to know what kind of Starfleet officers, preferably of captain and up, are like Klingophiles, that they like the Klingon culture, or Klingaboos. That I can, like, you want to go targ hunting, and just butter them up to endorse the deal, endorse the treaty, and maybe, like, I don't know, take a book out of Aurelius's, I'll take a page out of Aurelius's book, and make deals and stuff like that.
Okay.
That's weird. And the boxing tourneys are whenever I meet a Starfleet captain who's or a admiral or whatever, being a dick and being like, I don't want no damn Klingons on my station or ship or in this quadrant or whatever. That there's non-lethal, like, let's fight this out. You and me. I have nothing else to do today.
Okay.
You obviously you don't, because you're talking shit to a Klingon High Counselor. Sure, let's fight this out. And yeah, that's about it. Just making sure that the name of SupQit'aH is out there and on everybody's lips.
Okay.
From the border of uncharted space to the heart of the Federation and back towards Klingon space.
Mm-hmm. All right. Is there anything of a special note that you tell Oda about your findings? Because I presume that you're telling him everything that you've just learned. And presume this is a secure channel. I'll let you guys all have that without rolling for it, but...
Fair enough. Well, yeah. I try to be as precise as I can. Martok speaks a lot of bullshit, and when he doesn't, then that's where you're supposed to listen. In essence, our goals are the same. We keep fighting the good fight, keep expanding as much as we can in such a non-threatening way to Starfleet as we can, because we don't want them as enemies. Or rather, we all would like to have Starfleet as enemies, but we don't have the funds to do it. Or the fucks. Anywho, yeah, I'm keeping my fists up and I'm not sitting down too much.
No doubt you will also need to defend our claim of influence over this space as agreed between Captain Pin and I, among other great houses as well. If, as I suspect, this region of space proves to be as rich in exploitable resources, then it will be very soon that we will face competition from within, as well as any worries from without. To that end, I am also charging you with securing for SupQit'aH a supply route through Klingon space to this sector. One that takes less than 100 days. In particular, GM, could you put us back on the region map?
Sure.
Particular, I think in the not terribly distant future, it would be to our advantage to have an alliance with the governor of the Katal sector as the nearest region of Klingon space to this region. Eventually, and sooner rather than later, I do not want us reliant on a route that goes through Federation space. Although uncharted, this may wind up being our best route. In any event, we will, particularly at the beginning, need supplies and equipment and personnel from Bamoth, and we will need to secure as quick a route as possible. Additionally, begin laying the groundwork for recruiting colonists. Of all technical, agricultural, and various skills. We will conquer worlds. We will need Klingons to live upon them.
It shall be done.
Yeah, welcome to being a representative on the High Council.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this is why I have a separate character. There you go. Well, no doubt that these systems that we will conquer on our way back to where we started this journey shall bear the name of the minor house of Kargan and the grand house of SupQit'aH. I will set my many children as planetary governors until such a day that you see fit to remove them. They might not go without a fight, but they will do good to the house, if that is your wish.
Be careful of stirring up too much military trouble within the Empire itself. But yes, in this new region of space, there's glory enough for all of us and our progeny.
That I will make sure of.
Qapla'.
Qapla', cousin.
Who would next like to report to the Zhou of Keldar, Urbilis, and Hona?
You want to go, Keldar?
You want to go, man? You want to go?
wanna
Sorry.
I could go.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I was being kept busy by both Chance and Joe. So I would imagine that. Oh, hello. Oda sent me to explore some of that unexplored space between the Catal sector and where we currently are.
I don't have you on there. Whoopsie. Is that the order, Zhou? So many people.
Well, we're sending Hona out to explore and conquer beyond this little sector here. We've got Arillis setting up trade routes within the Peugeot subsector and gathering intelligence and all that kind of stuff. Let me look over my notes from last month.
You're welcome.
Yeah, because Keldar wasn't here for the last episode, so I didn't really have an assignment for him. But you were wanting to move more in the direction of the spy master, right?
That is correct.
Okay, so I think I would have set Keldar out to get me info on the Klingons who are already in the Peugeot subsector, liaise with House Telpak as necessary, and since we've actually concluded an alliance with Tiger Squadron, you should have access to some of their resources as well. Particularly what I'm wanting to find out is where they're all at, because they weren't on the station last time, despite me having heard a bunch about them being on the station. And to kind of figure out, we know for sure that there are some traitors to Martok and to the Empire out here who we just can't, there's no dealing with them except in one very specific way. But they're also just, some criminals, some Klingons sowing wild raiding oats, that kind of thing. Oda is looking to see what Klingons he needs to eliminate and what Klingons that are already here in the region that might potentially be recruitable, and to see if these various groups have a single leader or if they're several different pirate bands or whatever. just all the information you can get me on the Klingons in the region and the their organization and standing, I guess.
Okay.
And as a sideline, well, no, go ahead and report on that, and then I'll give you the next thing.
Is there any other directives I missed? Sorry. I wasn't typing when you were talking there, and I should have been. I was a little behind. Seek out the raiders, make contact with House Telpak.
Yeah, fundamentally, Telpak has been investigating all these Klingons, so they should have a good amount of information. Our house has an alliance with House Telpak. But yeah, I'm seeking intelligence on all the various Klingons and their factions within themselves, who are traitors that can only be dealt with through death and who might be recruitable.
Okay. So the question... Oh, go ahead.
So, Oda mentioned that we had heard a lot about Klingons on the station, but that they were not there when our forces took their shore leave. So I would think I would try to investigate there first, see what the station authorities had on these Klingons.
Reason plus command or security, difficulty of 3 to get that information. You will get an assist from station personnel, because Tiger Squadron has been told to assist you in all reasonable matters.
Okay. So reason plus command or security.
And we've got 1 momentum. Hey, there's Baby Keldar. Happy birthday, Baby Keldar.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. Difficulty 3.
That wasn't for you, no.
I will spend that momentum on an extra die. And I will use my command discipline. Sector governance helped me here.
Yeah, I'd take that.
Okay.
And
3 successes on my own.
plus 1 more, so 4 successes, gain 1 momentum. Of House Telpak, Telpak seems to be... They have a liaison officer that works with Tiger Squadron's personnel. Recent events, when you first met them, when you first settled in at Deep Space Aracania, that's the Starfleet Deep Space Station in the Shosku system. Telpak was largely deployed across... actually, I'll pull up the map because this will explain a little quicker. She basically initially came around this way to Shosku, and then now she's kind of been splitting people around, trying to find people in this area. But she doesn't... her squadron's probably about the size of yours, so she's trying to cover a lot of space with very few ships, and her Klingon brand of justice is not Federation brand of justice, so she has to sometimes work around the Federation and Starfleet, sometimes just doing it directly. She and Tiger Squadron have been working... Starfleet's basically been essentially babysitting her forces. Like they're helping with investigations, but they're always trying to make sure Starfleet gets the collar, if at all possible. Which, as far as she's concerned, as long as the traitors don't run loose. She's happy, but that has kind of pinned her forces down because she's moving a lot slower than she would have otherwise. The only places that she hasn't, the places she wants to look, and you would learn this through, and even the Federation people on the station, they don't say babysit, but you read between the lines. That's what the job is. But they're not impeding. They're not trying to stop her from doing what she's doing. They're just making sure that there's no shootouts on Federation worlds. Starfleet tends to frown upon that sort of thing for some reason. The two places she wants to look desperately is in this Pedro subsector, because it's an area neither Klingons nor Starfleet have a presence in, really, or not a large presence. So, and there's a lot of rumors that that's where, because they're being crushed pretty thoroughly, because these 6 sectors are heavily patrolled by Starfleet. The local populace is super friendly with the Federation. And in this little gap here, between these 2 sectors, there's a lot of open space, because the Gorn don't want to expand too much, and the Federation kind of wants to leave that as a buffer, so these 2 powers never really fight each other. So what it comes down to is that Telpak thinks that most of them have ran out this way, to these outer regions. Which, that's probably where she's going to go next once she cleans up this area. As the weeks go on, you learn that almost the entirety of the senior staff of Tiger Squadron has been summoned to Starbase Aegis, pending a criminal investigation. So after those 2 weeks are up, you learn that you are dealing with their junior officers, not the senior staff of Tiger Squadron. As something's happened, and they're not exactly, that's all you get out of them. That's the most, you suddenly start running into roadblocks. Like something big happened in the Federation somewhere, and Tiger Squadron was involved. Hell's Tailpock doesn't know, because it wasn't something they did. It has nothing to do with their investigation. Something else happened that Tiger Squadron was involved with.
Would Lieutenant Westcott know anything about Tiger Squadron?
Do you have a favor with him?
I do. I think I have 2 favors with him.
Yeah, he would know. So one of your favors is used. Apparently, sometime before the dawn, he doesn't know the exact star dates. That's classified up to the eyeballs, like admiral level classified. But he can read between the lines in intelligence files that at the colony of New London, one of the older colonies of the Federation, a human colony, in case that wasn't obvious, there was an intelligence operation where a criminal mastermind was being investigated and surveilled. And during their operation, an entire floor of a corporate headquarters building detonated, injuring and killing several people, as well as their target. And Tiger Squadron's basically is undergoing court-martial to determine culpability or if there was any wrongdoing. And to answer the chat that asked if New London was within the range of Silk Road, it is not. New London's one of the core word. Think like Teller Prime, Earth, Vulcan. Like, it's very close. I think it's closest to Beta Z, if I'm not mistaken. So it's fairly deep in there. So that's why it's a huge deal that something that big happened in such a secure world, and Tiger Squadron somehow was involved with one of their intelligence teams. Westcott knows, that's as much as Westcott knows, because he's not part of the squad, but he knows in the intelligence community why they're all riled up.
Okay. So yes?
I was just laughing.
Okay.
So Telpak, sorry.
So Telpak is investigating those six sectors, but believes the majority of the Klingon forces are out further to the east, I guess.
Yes.
Klingon raiders. I'll head out there and see that what I can find out there. See if I can stop into some local ports and ask if they've seen any people that look like me.
Anything of a special note you tell the Zhou? Beyond reporting what you've already learned. Because I presume you're not hiding any of that.
No, I'm not hiding any of that.
I always ask just in case.
Oda? No, I don't think so.
Good work, Keldar. See what you can find. See what allies you can make. In the meantime, to occupy your fertile mind in these long stretches at warp, turn your engineering and science talents to thinking about how we can what we need and how we can quickly build infrastructure, especially refineries, starbases, shipyards, the like, whether that's modular components that we get through from Bemoth or elsewhere in the Empire, or some way to quickly extract and refine for these new areas. We will need to be able to build up our defenses and capabilities as rapidly as possible in the new areas.
Yes, Joe. You will have my best efforts, as always.
You are a credit to our house. Kapla, cousin.
Kapla.
We then look to either Aurelius or Hona.
Hona can go. I'll take last.
Hona.
I am here. I've been listening.
Yep. Oh no, I was just asking. So we are looking at. We sent out to here. You were assigned the Hergnakjij in the Kolu to engage in your questing. Last episode, you were at the end of last episode anyway. You were given some data about some planets. But where do you take your small squadron to explore or conquest?
I was thinking of the sector between the Gorn hegemony and the edge of Klingon space. So, like right up here.
So you want to okay? So you're trying to get to to this sector?
Like right in this area, yeah.
Okay. Are you going to zip through unexplored space to get there, or are you going to go around and then come down?
Taking the most direct approach to go straight.
Give me insight plus con difficulty of. Actually, no. One, not. Well, I'll let you choose. Reason or insight plus con. Difficulty 3, assisted by ships. Brain. Brain plus brain. Computer plus con. To chart an appropriate route or ferret out the challenges of the route you're choosing.
I'll give you the necessary threat for 4 days.
Okay, so 3 to me.
Yeah.
You doing all threat, or do you want to spend the momentum? We have 1.
I can do 1 momentum and 2 threat.
Okay, so I lose one of those threat. Boop, boop. I said boop boop. So actually, a better place to cut to would be here. That is, and 1 die for the ship. The Hergnakjij, sorry. 13, Computers is
Yeah, go with the first
11.
one.
14. That's
My,
it.
my computer rolled twice on that.
I'll take the first one that hit the table, so the 13 is valid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits.
Yeah,
With a complication. The target was 3. You do have enough to quash that complication if you wish, unless you have a reroll you want to use. Quash it.
I might. Wait a second. I forgot to pull up my file.
Don't. Oops. Was done with me.
I can go with will not be defeated.
You want to spend your determination to reroll that?
Or
I would take survival as imperative.
okay, let's do that. So I rolled that 1.
That might be hit. You have 2 momentum because that was rerolled. I keep doing that. Bad habit. No, okay, so that didn't hit, but it's not a complication anymore. Cool. So you were able to determine that to go that way, it is the most direct route, you're right. The amount of time you're looking at, we'll assume that, sorry, just gonna do some calculations here. You don't need to come with me. I can just check it from here. But the chat can see what I'm doing. So 1, 2, 3.
Hold on, dude.
I'm doing as fast as I
Give me
can.
a second. No, you're fine. My kids after me in the other ear. Apparently, I'm being constricted.
It will take you.
Into playing GTA as well.
You're looking at assuming nothing slows you down, assuming no astronavigational hazards, no one attacking you. It should take you roughly 15 days to get to your target, to the target sector. The other thing I'll say,
They can go the other way.
Much longer, because you're looking at, because that's only you traveling across 3 sectors. If you go the other way around, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're looking at 30 days. Although it's a solid 30 days, it probably won't go any slower than that. But
yeah. I'd rather be there in 15.
The other thing I'll say, because you got the Kargan says Atriel would like the challenge for tactical. How do you mean, Kargan?
Well, since he is apparently in Hona's under Hona's tutelage to become a great warrior, he would like to assume the tactical position. Thank you.
I would be more than honored to have him man the tactical station on the Dark Sphere.
So the other thing I will tell you is that you and your crew would know that you are traveling through uncharted space. So you do have a course that should work in theory, but you're charting across a lot of space. Not charting, but you are traveling across a lot of unknown space. So that's the only caution I would say. It's theoretically faster, but you could run into something on the way there.
Ooh.
Shall the course be set, La?
You could also go a little slightly closer. GM, can you flip us back to the map? Because we know there's some sort of, we've heard rumors of some sort of civilization highly advanced, like in here? Or is it here? Try to look at the one. Yeah, in here. So you might maybe go here or just on the other side here.
Okay, I can do that. It'd probably be a little bit less. Well, it'll probably be about the same amount of time. My ultimate goal is to expand our grip on the entire region.
Right. But it's not on this map, but we've heard rumors of some highly advanced colony in this sector. Like by highly advanced, I mean like at least on ours and the Federation level. That's one of the things I'm going to talk to the Quaqua about because they supposedly know about it. But we haven't heard anything about this one or the other half of the Peugeot sector. So, just suggest you can go wherever you want to go.
So I'm highlighting. I think that's where I'm going to start.
So you can go here.
Yes.
That shaves down 5 days of travel, so you're looking approximately 10 days. Is that the course you shall set?
Yes.
Okay.
I just sent you a message.
Scrolling to
Right.
DMs.
It kind of involves what I sent to you earlier in the week. I don't know if you had a chance to read it or not.
I have, yep. Possible. It depends what we run into while we're out there. Is what I'll answer to that. Boop. So you go here. Would you be moving that cloak?
Don't know. Possibly to start.
As tactical, I would advise running at cloak.
So I need to mark this. These guys are basically I don't know how to mark. I'll mark them like this. So awkward looking. Okay. So the Herknajij and the Kulu advance across the stars. And at first, there's not a whole lot you run into. There's some scientifically interesting things and possible planets and new civilizations, but that isn't the goal here. It's to range out and see things and explore this for certain conquerable targets. I will ask for a reason plus science or security. Difficulty 3, assisted by sensors plus science or security, to determine if there are any viable targets in the area as you start ranging around the sector.
Let me see. I can give you the reason and security. Take the necessary. What are we standing at from? Okay. So I'll give you for 4 dice. I'll spend the momentum. I'll give you the threat for the extra 2 dice.
I'll assist.
Are you spending momentum or nay?
Holding the momentum in case I get a
Okay.
complication.
Okay, I'll save it then.
Speaking of complications,
2.
Wise, but you get a security reroll, don't you?
I'll reroll that if possible. Since it's a daring.
check your
They're
sheet.
under daring or under bold security.
Yep. Well, that's not a comp. Oops, I had the sheet in front of me. Reason plus security. Target number is 13. 1, 2. 2 hits so far, plus the ship, plus the assist.
One for the. Yep.
Sensors plus
And
security.
whoever's assisting can.
Ship does not assist.
I'd like to declare a focus of sensors.
Yep.
So pick them up.
Okay. There we go. Yep. Just on the button.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. $5 fee for rolling when I didn't ask for it. No. I would make no money doing that. As you're ranging around, you detect a Federation energy signature in the area. Whatever it is, it's fairly recent, but it isn't giving off the proper transponder code in the Allied database. So you don't know what type of Federation ship it is, you just know it is. Although I will say this is way out of their exploration envelope. The furthest out ship should be one sector behind you, and that's a anti-Borg task force that's investigating something there. But that's not, it's not them, because you would have been told it was one of their ships. But the computer doesn't recognize the ship; it just recognizes certain durametals and polymers that coincide with Federation technology.
I'll set a course to intercept that ship. Because it's piqued my interest. Is there any chance of a Klingon transponder signal within that area?
You're the only Klingons out here, as far as you're aware. No one's broadcasting themselves. Then again, if someone was cloaked, their transponder wouldn't be going off anyway. So,
If it's what I think it is, there might be some element of Klingon on that ship.
anything of particular note, you inform Hud Oda as you begin your search for this strange vessel.
Alert him to the possibility of a Federation ship in this sector. Investigating. Because there's something off about it.
Very well.
All right.
My helm will set an intercept course and engage.
Very well. Your squadron begins its hunt for the strange vessel. On the plus side, it's not moving much, so there's that. Daemon Aurelius.
My turn.
Yes. I know. Oh, wrong music. That is not what I was going for.
I don't mind it.
Hell with it. I'm not going to search right now. Sure. So, aboard the Vinter's Dream, I presume?
Yes.
What is Daimon Aurelius up to?
Well, how far have we made it towards Peugeot space?
Whoopsie. I keep hitting that bloody button. If those watching, if you see it blanking away, that's because I'm clicking on something I'm not supposed to. And I keep going away. That would be... Back. The first system you could probably get to would be... Just to clarify, are you bringing along the
The cargo?
No, sorry. The Coriolis and the Vintage Dream together, or
Yes.
Okay.
Because the Coriolis holds most of the cargo.
You're up here, just so don't forget. You're all there. You're up there. Cargo's up there. Okay. So the first systems you could get to. Well, I kind of put you there. I didn't really need to do that. These are the first ones you could probably... Yeah, actually, let's go from here. If you're from here... I'd say the Kakavlu system's probably the closest you could get to. That would only take you... It's within the sector. So it would take you a day to get out there. Well, probably 2 days, actually, more like. So 2 days of travel to get to Kakavlu. A Chigoan world.
Yes, this is the one which we have investigated, which seems to have a critical lack of luxury foods. The poor rich people, what shall they eat?
So you come upon the Kakavlu system, a garden world that once upon a time was a destination, wintering homestead, if you will, of the rich and powerful, now being used as the de facto capital of the alliance, the 3-star alliance of the Chigoans. And as you learned last time, they have a severe food problem and redundant forced obsolescence replicator systems, where you, on your ships, have some high-quality luxury foods and some novel replicator recipes that you've gleaned from across the stars. So I presume you're giving this all charitably to Kakavlu out of the goodness of your Latinum-filled heart.
Please, you're gonna make me burst a gut here. Oda, do you want to play Niren?
Sure.
Good. Exo, announce our arrival to the people of this system.
Of course, Damon. I will try to contact whatever sort of planetary traffic control or whatnot.
Control plus engineering, difficulty 1, assisted by comms plus engineering.
What are Niren's scores on that? Any good?
He's rolling a 12 for control engineering.
That's decent.
Said diff 1.
Probably more like over here. Yes.
I'll give you a momentum just for. Oh, not 13, just 3. I don't think any of his focuses will apply on this. Not yet, anyway.
Oh, and Diamond, I assume you're going with option 2?
Sorry, option 2?
From the letter from the Grand Nagus office.
Of course. I'm
Okay.
not going to get the ship out to the FCA. There is no doubt in my mind.
Had to ask.
So there amazingly is 3.
Jeez. What's the ship?
Yeah, of course. What did you say the ship rolled? Sorry?
Comms plus engineering. Or communications, sorry.
Coming right up. Where'd you put the ships, by the way? It's moved down, right?
It should be in your face. No, it should be under player controlled ships.
Hang on. Oh, there they are.
Oh, Aurelius, what are we going on under, like, Ferengi free traders? What are we representing ourselves
Ferengi
as?
free traders, of
Okay,
course.
right. Thought so.
So sorry, you said computer comms.
Comms plus engineering.
Wait, the Vintage Dream has a personnel file instead of a ship file.
Should have a warship registry entry.
No. Just, looks like a personnel sheet.
This one?
I'm looking at it, the Vintage Dream. See?
Yeah.
I could be smoking something. But...
Yeah, to test systems, and it looks the same, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I was being a dummy going to the actual character sheet thingy.
That part. Yeah, no. That's to accommodate our Starfleet friends who need automated sheets. We do it hardcore because we don't have a sheet yet.
Yeah, right up until Bonivius gives us sheets.
The ship rolled on that one. Let's go.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So that's 3-5. So that means we gain 4 momentum.
Man, I am a machine.
Can't find anything. There we go. Just one moment. Oh, I probably should let you see his face. Doop. I can't spell it, man. I swear to there. This is Trade Administrator Kameni, who is hailing us now. As you find that you are one of many ships that seem to be hovering over this garden world. Oh, writing his name helps. Make sure you can see it.
All you, Oda. Go ahead.
Okay. Greetings, Trade Administrator. I am Niran, Executive Officer of the Ferengi Free Trading Vessels, Venter's Dream and
Coriolis.
Thanks. We come to trade. I believe that our cargo will prove to be of quite some interest to you and your people, and benefit.
Do you have an appointment?
I kind of laugh. Appointments? No. But I believe that once you hear what we're carrying, an appointment will be easily made.
Presence plus command difficulty of 2. This guy does not want to talk with yet another Ferengi ship promising all the nice things.
Difficulty 2, okay. That's right, he's a support. So I will... 2, that's a good score. I'll give you 1 for a 3rd die. Persuasion for a focus?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
What the hell did you roll?
I rolled a bit of 14. I don't know what I did. So, yeah, looks like missed. Taking the first 3, I got 1 hit.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, mistyped. I've got my hand in a brace and it's doing weird things when I type.
Does anyone wish to assist Niran in his attempts to convince Kameni to take your call?
Of course, I will step outside into the near the view screen and to observe what Niran is doing. And as I see him sweating profusely as he's trying to speak to this fish bug person,
Insectoid.
An insectoid, I will step in graciously and smile. Trust me, Trade Administrator. What you really want to see is aboard our ships, not these other ones.
Presence plus command, Diamond.
Coming up.
Please don't roll 14d20 like that other player who shall not be named.
That other player cheats, man.
Yeah, I'll assist by crossing my arms and looking scary.
Charging torpedoes. Wait.
Oh, there you go. I am so good. This was just an assist die, by the way. Yeah. I'm too good.
So 1 momentum generated.
Yep.
Very well, Vinter's Dream and Coriolis. What are you offering for sale to the Chigo 3-Star Alliance?
Well, a little birdie told me back on Federation space that there seems to be a large majority of people who were once rich in capital, but now have found themselves slightly less so due to the war-torn state, and have been forced, as ancient Earth philosophers, humans, would have said, to eat bread instead of cake. I have come offering cake, Trade Administrator, among other things. Luxury foods, wines, Klingon blood wines, Romulan ales, perhaps even something more exotic.
And what do you seek?
Have you ever met a Ferengi, Trade Administrator?
Too many, but yes.
Then you know what it is we seek.
We do have stores of Latinum, however we primarily trade in the Peugeot unified currency.
I am afraid the only currency we'll accept is Latinum, but, Trade Administrator, if you will allow me to speak with you and some other representatives, I'm sure we can reach a deal.
I'm authorized to deal on behalf of the Alliance with alien forces like yourself. There's no need to bother the representatives with petty matters like this.
I see. Then perhaps a meeting on a place of your choice, in person, so I could perhaps show you some of these amenities which I'm offering.
Presence plus command. Or con, if that's better for some reason. This is opposed. He is actively trying to force this conversation to stay over subspace. He does not want to go on some strange alien ship that smells funny.
My ship does not smell funny. Take a momentum for that one.
I'm spending all the thread I can. 1.
What the heck?
2,
Take 4 momentum then.
2, 3.
That's for 3 dice. No, for 4 dice. Yeah. Will my focus in negotiation come
to
into
roll
play?
a total to roll a total of 4, you only need to spend 3 momentum unless you're spending a.
Then yeah, spend 3 momentum to
Okay.
take 1 back. Then will my focus in negotiation come into play here?
Yes.
Will my focus in intimidation check in here?
If you want to go with an intimidating route, you could, but...
No, we are not intimidating these people, Tolvir.
Alright.
You can still assist without the complication. It would be a complication, but you can assist without the focus.
Fine.
Oh, there you go. That's 4 successes. 5 successes overall.
Oh, focus. There. And +1 success because he's negotiating with an alien. He's particularly good at that sort of thing. That counts for 5, 6 hits.
You also rolled a comp, though.
Which, if he succeeds, he just succeeds less so. But if you tie, he loses the tie. Right now, you are losing by 1? That's by 2.
By 1 because we got 5 successes.
Oh, yes, I can count. I'm good at math. You're only missing by 1, yeah.
Okay. I will burn a thingy then, a value. Value number 1, rule of acquisition 189. Let others keep their reputation, you keep their money.
Okay, yeah. Look, I'm not trying to make you look bad or nothing. I'm just trying to show you a good time and take your money from you.
Exactly. So I will reroll, or can I use it to get 2 hits instantly?
Nah, to get 2 hits instantly, you have to spend it before you roll. You can only get a reroll at this point.
So reroll I will reroll 2 dice, I guess. Those 10s. I don't know.
Well, basically, yeah, you're trying to dig a something that hits within your focuses because those 10s were hits to begin with.
Yeah. So yeah, just trying to get more essentially. Let's see.
The ship isn't assisting.
Nah.
The ship could assist with computers plus command. Maybe you could look up something that's in your computer that helps you out.
Yeah, like a cargo manifest.
Yeah, it's like here's a sample. Yeah.
All right. With what did you say? Computers command.
Yep.
We got an actually decent score on that.
Marauders are pretty good for that.
But we don't hit. Of course we don't. Never mind. We'll keep the silver subspace.
Right, so given these details and the fact that I am a very busy administrator, as I'm sure you know, Diamond, and I have various other trades to deal with, I will, as per the complication, he will say, I will deal with you in priority. So if you wish to seal the deal now, I'm willing to listen, but I will do it from the comfort and safety of my administration office.
Good, then let us discuss. Exonirin, will you please show the trade administrator our stocks which we currently have aboard the ship?
Of course, Diamond. Transmitting now, Administrator.
So we're now looking at another opposed roll. In this case, you're basically attacking him socially with either your luxury foods as the main thing or the novel replicators as the main thing you're trying to sell him on. So it's an opposed presence plus command roll or con if that's better for some reason. I'll write that out.
No, it is not.
Plus command.
Niran will assist.
Con. Opposed. Basically, you'll be rolling. If you hit, you'll be rolling your command score in challenge dice and damage or stress. If you succeed, you also get the quality of your item as bonus dice. So, for example, luxury food has a quality of 2, so you'd have 2 bonus dice for rerolling the challenge dice or doing extra damage, that sort of thing. Likewise, he could negotiate and get these things from you at a discount if he succeeds. So it's a matter of who's able to get the first injury off, basically.
Okay. You will take 2 momentum for 2 additional dice for me.
He will buy all the dice because you have really nice stuff.
Man, don't do that to me.
You're dealing with traders; they're big on this sort of thing.
Yeah, will my focus on negotiation again come into play?
Yes.
That 4 is a double success because focus.
And +1 due to his advantage, but that is 4 hits total.
4 against our 5.
Gain momentum. Roll your command discipline in challenge dice.
Don't have to tell me twice. Count this. What the heck? Is this it? Yeah.
So you do have. I assume you're trying to push the luxury food.
The luxury foods, of course. So that's a +2.
Yep. So do you wish to spend one of those bonus momentum toward rerolling those zeros?
I will, actually, yes.
Okay. That's 4. And if you spend that last momentum, bonus momentum, you can do 5, which could be an injury.
That was our only bonus momentum, but...
well, luxury food had 2, because it's quality 2, yeah?
Yes.
So
another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we'll spend that last one then.
Yeah. You go back and forth. He tells you he could trade these things, and then at first you almost think, that sounds valuable, but the big thing you learn in this negotiation is that the Chico don't have a ton of Latinum, but you're able to find other stuff that is of value, and you're able to find not just material goods. I mean, those are great. you're a Frankie. Of course, material things are great, but sometimes intelligence can be helpful. Some contacts can be helpful. So he will gladly buy the luxury food off you to supply his world. For an additional 2 threat, he will also write you a letter of introduction to some friends he has in the Peugeot star system to act as a go-between for either some of the other free worlds in the subsector, or with the Woohoo or with the Qua. So basically, you're paying him directly. You're bribing him, although he doesn't say bribe, but that's what he's asking for.
Every man has his price. We can make that work.
So 2 threat to him as you bribe a government official, which I will totally not get to yell at you for, because Klingons don't care about that. Actually, no.
I would like to converse with the trade administrator one last time before we depart this area.
Sure. That's the wrong bridge. Try again. There we go.
So, trade administrator, before we depart for other worlds, there is one thing I would like to inform you about. In case you may or may not have heard, there is a new player in the neighborhood. The same player where these goods are coming from. Granted, if you wanted more, I could be your go-between between yourself and this new player. If you're wondering who I'm talking about, the Klingons in the House of SupQit'aH have moved into the neighborhood, bearing loads of goods which you could use for yourself and your people.
Is he bringing down property values?
Is your principal willing to negotiate an ongoing trade treaty?
When you're dealing with me, trade administrator, everything is a possibility.
Well, I can, for the right price, I can give a priority trader permit for yourself and his agents. But if he wishes to have a more long-term diplomatic or trade treaty, then he will have to come here to speak with the Council of Representatives, or one of the representatives. I would advise the one here. He's a lot more friendly with non-Chigoans, shall we say.
Well, you see, the head of the House of SupQit'aH is a very busy man. If he, let's say, gave me the authority to speak in his name via trade deals, would that satisfy the Trade Council?
So long as there's a contract that we can examine, sure. With biometric signs, of course.
Would you excuse me for a couple of hours, Trade Administrator?
Certainly, I'll keep you on priority channel 2. You can call me back on that one.
Thank you. Tolvir, and the connection.
Yes, sir.
Niren, if you could come to me, we must speak with Joe.
Oh. So I'll grab
Of course,
him.
Diamond.
And we'll make a Ferengi out of you yet.
Hey.
Your lobes just aren't developed enough.
Oops. And
Gods forfend.
so, you report your findings and activities to the Zhou, I presume, without any...
Joe Oda, I have spoken with the representatives of the Peugeot system, and they are willing to let me act as your trade representative in the hopes of establishing long-term trade deals in the sector. All I need is a contract in your personal signature.
What sort of contract, Ferengi?
A contract which authorizes me to act as your trade representative in the Peugeot system, like I said. These people are very picky when it comes to who they deal with. They wanted to deal with me personally, and I said, you know, the Zhou is a very busy person. Obviously, as you are. So I would deal on your behalf. And they said, sure, but you have to come with us with a contract. And here I am asking you for a contract, Joe.
I see no particular problem with this.
Then perhaps it would be best if the lore singer here assembled something, got your biometrics, of course, and sent it along my way. It would speed up the delivery of this whole trade deal very much. In other news, however, I have managed to sell them luxury foods at very exorbitant prices. The share will, of course, come back to the treasury of House SupQit'aH.
And what of information? Who are you dealing with currently? Which of these races?
A trade administrator of the Chikwa people, if I managed to remember that right.
Chigoan.
Yes, the insectoid people, very ugly.
The smallest of the three main polities.
Well,
Still, it's a beginning.
Let me tell you, Joe, they do pack a punch when it comes to trading, dare I say rivaling some Ferengi as well. We are lucky that I have managed to get there first. This is virgin territory for us. Exploitable.
They also have a habit of blowing up their own solar system, so trade carefully.
Alas, them blowing up their solar systems brings more profit to us. I have managed to sell these luxury foods at exorbitant prices simply because their nobles cannot drink blood wine anymore. Consider this when next time you trade with them.
Very well. We shall develop a contract and authorizing you as the agent for House SupQit'aH in this sector. Expect it shortly.
Of course, Joe. You can expect several thousand bricks of latinum to appear in the vault of House SupQit'aH shortly as well.
It would be well, Ferengi. Kapla!
Yes, greetings to you as well, I suppose. Near an end connection.
Whoops, I'm grabbing stuff I'm not supposed to. And the screens go blank. I am increasing the house wealth up by 1 due to the successful trading involved. That has enriched the house. Your wealth has gone up to 10. Because, yeah, as small as the Dragoans are, they're also very, very rich. Well, they are for now until they lose all their worlds to supernova radiation. But that's a different problem.
Or until we gouge them of all the bricks of platinum they have.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I'm very much liking our house stats.
Well, Joe, that is the briefings for the day. We can go to the training area to see this bout, or we can have your check-in with your new surgeon. But
I believe he will... go ahead.
I would also add that we should probably do these both of these things before we head to see the Baron. Although I hesitate to presume anything, but it may be wisest to speak with this Baron on his world, as his species does not react very well to going out into the stars. Apparently they go quite insane.
Agreed. Well, I believe the doctor has some serious reading ahead of him before he will be ready to examine me, so perhaps we will proceed to your duel.
With your permission, Hood, I would like to requisition a batleth for personal use. This will cost 1 opportunity and 2 threat, because she doesn't normally walk around with these things.
Okay. And I will let her take one of mine.
She has a batleth. She will not take any armor, because she's a laborer and a civilian, so she doesn't feel it appropriate to wear armor.
Fair enough. And Odo will call the various people who need to be there as witnesses, and the Hakwi East Eston.
New scene.
Haha, you don't get no momentum from me.
Grumble. I have battle music. Where is it? There it is.
Before going to the duel,
Yeah.
would I be able to have gotten back to sickbay to immediately start looking into, number one, what my staff looks like, and number two, I want to start getting to. Oh, one question that I do have: did you guys have a surgeon before?
Negative. I don't think so.
We had Crawl was our. It's a supporting character.
Ah, okay. So, and just to clarify, I would outrank Kroll. Is that correct?
You are. Well, that shouldn't be there anymore. You are the surgeon. You're both SOG, but you're both lieutenants, but you're the surgeon here.
Okay, so I do outrank him in title, but not in rank. Got it.
Yep.
As I walk into the sick bay, I guess the medical bay is what they call it on Klingon ships. What's the state of it?
Of this particular med bay on the Maymok, the medical bay is... It's a rating 2 med bay, so it's serviceable. You can patch up a few warriors here or there. None of the ship systems seem to be designed with the surgical bay or med bays in mind. This is a multi-world battle cruiser, so they do try to spread out their how much room each division gets. But the lion's share of resources seem to be dedicated toward the security department and the command department. So you have just enough to do your job. As for crew, you do have, of course, Sug Kral, who can be on call for assisting you, but you are the primary surgeon of the flagship.
As I walk in, are there any patients, or is it just Kral?
There's at least there's a couple of Klingons who are kind of there for checkups, but no major injuries or anything. You actually see Kral's attending to a couple of them when you walk in.
I walk up to Kral and I ask, I say, Kral, I'm Dr. Eston. I'm going to be the surgeon of this ship. I hear that this has been sort of your job. I'm going to be taking over for you. What seems to be going on with these two?
If someone would roll for Sug Kral, reason plus medicine, difficulty of 2. See if he can actually answer the surgeon's question.
Oh, no shit? He wouldn't just know?
No, my favorite phrase as a GM is say yes or roll dice. I'm not saying yes, so I'm making him roll dice.
Okay.
What'd you say is reason medicine?
Reason medicine for Sug Kral to figure out what is wrong with if there's anything wrong with these two Klingons he's doing an examination of.
Is xenobiology?
I would take it, because xenobiology also covers biology, as it were. Oh, and the ship helps with computers plus, sensors plus medicine, because one would presume he used the ship's, the med bay's resources.
I don't even know what ship we're on, so someone else will have to do that.
The Maymok.
Computers medicine?
Sensors medicine, either way, but...
Yeah, got it. Oh.
Great.
I imagine Kral's gonna look at a monitor and punch the monitor because it's giving incorrect readings.
Kral, we only have so many of those monitors. Just get out of my way. And I physically push him out of the way and pull out my tricorder and scan both them.
I don't know much about Krull. Is Krull the type to not get pushed around?
You decide. You're controlling him. He's a Klingon. He's an old Klingon. He's been serving with these guys for.
His value is medicine is my battlefield. This is his domain.
Oppose roll if you wish
But he
to challenge
doesn't have a
him.
high security. Okay, yeah, he doesn't have a high security, so I don't know that he's gonna get into a fight, but he's definitely gonna push back.
Oppose. Not that you're trying to hurt each other here, but opposed security.
Yeah, you can do it without doing stress damage.
Yep. Because you literally are just shoving each other. You're not trying to hurt each other.
I would
Klingon mid-base.
I would like to declare that I'm assigning security stat of 2.
Very good. No momentum's being generated from this, by the way, because you're both on the same side.
Okay, sounds good.
And the the supporting characters work in the same fashion in that after each activation they get upgraded. They don't get upgraded in the middle of episodes.
Right, yeah. They work on supporting character rules, not creation and play rules.
I'm gonna say that I don't have a focus for this.
Okay.
Okay. That is 1 success.
That's 2 successes.
2 successes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit, there's a 1. Oh, great. 2 successes.
Yeah, Krull is shoved out of the way.
He'll sneer and find somewhere else to be.
I'm gonna scan the one that Krull was scanning, and I would love to scan him.
I can't spell sensors. Sensors. Reason plus medicine, difficulty 3, assisted by sensors plus medicine. As you notice, one Klingon has very strange readings, and you would check what the computer said, but Krull kind of broke it. So.
Of course he did. Okay. I would love to declare a focus of internal medicine. Can I do that?
You certainly can.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's on the outside. No, I'm just kidding. I know what that means.
All right. Reason, medicine, difficulty 3. Okay. This is what I do, so we should be fine.
Sense ores? Have you calibrated the sense ores? Lower Decks is pretty good. I just watched the first season of it recently.
Yeah, it's some good shit.
Okay, keep rigging your dice. No. One more die for the ship.
And then, okay, one moment.
There be the ship.
1,
Okay.
2, and 3. Got it on the button.
Awesome.
It would seem the Klingon in question has, in fact, twisted their ankle rather severely, to the point that it's swelling to some degree.
Can I declare talents as well right now, or no?
You certainly can.
Let me pull up the medicine talents list really quick.
Sure. Actually, while you look that up, I'll be right back. I have to step away from the computer.
Okay.
By Gary 7, do you mean the guy with the cat that has like the shows up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
The doctor-
Terry Gar.
For one episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Terry Gar. It's. I mean, there's Star Trek novels with these, but the eugenics wars are turning out to be good Star Trek novels.
I'm gonna have to look into it. The eugenics wars are kind of vague, but I do occasionally like to write episodes that get into human like modification
Yeah.
and find that line.
Yeah, because it's a weird line. The Federation has to be allowing some of it. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense
does.
otherwise.
I think the episode that pretty much solidifies the Federation standpoint is the one about Bashir. Because
Yeah.
they have a Starfleet, like, JAG Admiral, like, go on a 3 or 4 minute exposition about why it's all necessary to do it this way.
Right.
Sorry, everyone. Just one moment. Just trying to get my shit together.
I do wonder if Klingons still do it, though. Or if it's kind of a, we don't do that because of how bad it went last time.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, because there's a certain level of just like medical genetic engineering that I think any advanced species would do, you know. But yeah, I think the Klingons would be pretty leery after the augment virus.
They also have a very strong rule of the week streak. So if it was found out that, like, you know, some of your proudness comes because your parents genetically modified you, that I could see that being devastating to someone's reputation.
Alright, I got it all figured out, I think.
Sounds more Romulan or Cardassian to really muddle in that.
Well, if it was Cardassian, it wouldn't be your parents, it'd be the state deciding that it needed to be done.
Well, yeah.
I have returned. Boop.
Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and declare the talent Practice Makes Perfect, which allows, once per scene after the character has succeeded on a medicine task related to the treatment of a patient, reduce the difficulty of the next medicine task related to that.
Yep. And you would qualify for that as far as I am aware, so no reason to...
Yeah, I have a reason of 11, so...
Yeah, you're fine.
I wanna try to figure out the best way to treat this, and treat it.
Okay. That will be reason plus engineering? No, I'm just kidding. Actually, to treat this, it would be control plus medicine. I should probably type this out. Control plus medicine. Difficulty 1, assisted by the ship's structure, plus medicine.
Okay.
Don't Klingons have a redundant ankle? They do, it's the other one, but he needs that first one. Unfortunately, Klingons are still bipedal, so losing one ankle is kind of a deal.
Man, these rolls are sucking.
I mean, you just cut it off and put another one on.
I want to see, like, the triple jointed double ball Klingon ankle now.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's not, it's just way more bones, or one big bone instead of a bunch of tiny ones.
Plus the ship.
Oh, sorry. Do I roll that too?
As long as somebody does. Anyone can do it. If they can find the sheet. Klingon peg leg. I want to see Batleth legs.
Awesome. You get momentum from that, I think.
Oh, you actually reduce it. Yep. Yeah, you're able to treat the rather routine injury. It happens in training. Sometimes Klingons just wrench their ankle real badly. These two, you after reading the file, find out that they were in a practice duel, and they're just getting checked out to make sure they didn't get any injuries. This Klingon actually didn't even know his ankle was all that bad until he got here. Probably why Krall didn't believe the readings right away, because it didn't make sense. He wasn't whinging at all, but this guy was just toughing through it. That actually was probably hurting a lot for him to be walking on it. And that's actually what made it worse, because he didn't favor the other side like you really should when you're injured like that.
Yeah, I look at this Klingon and I say, name?
Krall. No, the other one. That's his name. Your name, idiot. Oh. Wait. Well, I'm Jatelka.
Petelka, if you would have walked on that for another 3 steps, it would have broken. Maybe during training, maybe cast the eyes inward and think of yourself.
He looks at you confused.
You're dismissed. You're fine.
He understands that, and off he goes, likely to get himself injured again. The other guy seems fine. He just standard bruises, but he's Klingon. Those will go away by the end of the day.
And you seem to be fine, sir. So get out.
Now we'll use disruptors. Yeah.
No! This is what holodecks are for. Never mind.
If they use disruptors, I don't think you're gonna have to do any med checks.
Holodecks on a Klingon ship. I don't think we have those, but I can sell them to you.
Yeah, so other than that, there's no like pressing business?
Other than the file the Joe gave you.
Do I have like an office area in
This is your office. You could tell everyone to get out. It's your room. This is the surgeon's room.
Right, okay. Crawl. You're dismissed. I will let you know when I need you.
He looks at you like, you're dismissing me?
Does he say that?
No, just gives you the look like...
Who's this young pup telling me what to do?
Yeah, who are you?
Crawl, you're dismissed. I don't need you.
He's so old he doesn't even know what his name is.
I think
the battle lock
Kroll
informs.
will pace back just to save his honor enough that he did not leave when you told him to leave, but eventually goes as he surely has something else to do on the ship.
And GM, so would I know that from the thing that he gave me that's the file is like top secret, like high class stuff, or
it'd be high security. He's the head of the household. Klingon medical files are restricted, not for the safety of the patient or the privacy of the patient, but for the good of the Empire. We don't want intelligence leaking into enemy hands. More so when it's a high-ranking officer like a captain or a house leader. And Hoda is a step away from being named a general if this campaign goes well. So he's fairly high ranked.
Goals.
Yeah, so I immediately sit down at that little desk there. I kind of align myself with the Klingon interface, and I input my authorization code that I just got and start reading up on what the captain was talking about.
So the patient is a long-lived Klingon. He's not terribly old or anything like that, but he is an experienced officer who has seen his share of battles and cuts and surgeries and so on. Of a special note are a couple of things, and one is that there's 3 things actually that are highlighted in his file. The first of which is that he suffered a rather nasty throat injury a year ago, or 2 years ago? 2 years ago. I'm thinking the voice box there, Oda. I think that was from the poisoning attempt, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
There's so much story behind that. Okay, continue, sorry.
So basically the crew got poisoned pretty badly by the traitors against the house. His case kind of wrecked his vocal cords pretty badly to the point that he needed a vocalizer, a automated like voice box sort of thing. He has since that initial injury has had a implant put in its place. So the way you probably heard him talk, it sounds like a natural Klingon, but if he wants to sound more Borg, robotic, I'm here to eat your soul, sort of robot intimidating, he can. It's just a switch he can activate in his throat. So his first implant used to be pretty bad, his new implant's pretty good. I think to the point, I will tell you that he has the talent augmented ability presence. He can sound extra scary or loud with just an adjustment on his throat. The second thing that would be noted on the file is that he has had frequent psionic contact with a race of people now known as the Kashoans, a crystalline species that are psionic in nature.
I immediately highlight that, put it in its own folder in the system, and put a bunch of circles around it. Just for when he comes, because I think I immediately, because psionic abilities are very are rare, and I want to scan the living hell out of that when he gets in to figure out what that is.
So basically, highlighting that's what you're doing. You're making sure to have that have his brain looked at during your next checkup.
Yes.
So yes, he's had frequent contact with Kashoans, specifically what the people of Bamoth came to know as the Star of Death, a massive, almost moon-sized crystalline entity that he communed with on a regular basis during the Treasoners' War. According to the file, he's still himself, but you haven't looked at him. But it's been noted on the file because, whenever Klingons aren't known for their sonic abilities, there are sonic Klingons, but it's not common. It's very, very rare.
Would I have knowledge of the Federation's dealings with the previous crystalline entity?
Yes, you'd be aware of that.
Okay.
I will note, for a bit of 10th Fleet lore, the 10th Expeditionary Fleet in Starfleet, the canon fleet that we're associated with, they have encountered at least 2 other crystalline species. One's the Kashoans, formerly known as the Cowcat, and the other is... fudge, I forgot their name already.
It starts with a Z, I think, but it hasn't been encountered in like a year and a half of play, so I don't think it's...
They're basically evil crystals that split into 2 crystal species that are sort of having the civil war among themselves.
Isn't that the Kashoans?
No, the Kashoans also split in 2, but they were on the same side. One was peaceable and healing, the other one was destroy enemies of the Kashoans. But they were on the same side, whereas the other species...
The other species also like absorbs energy. Like if you shoot them, it's not good.
Yeah. So you would know of at least 3 different crystalline species that Starfleet has encountered in the last few years.
Yeah, so they're not the crystalline entities from Voyager or whatever.
From TNG, Data's crystalline entity.
Right.
But that is what spooked both of them. Like in both cases, they were super spooked because they thought it was going to be the crystalline entity. It's like, nope, they're more like Tholians.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry, go ahead.
And the last thing to note, and this is the bit that had the Joe in the palliative care of Starfleet Medical, in the care of one Dr. Efrix at DSE. Okay, so the short story is, during a rather pivotal battle at a space station known as the Dusk Machine, there was a big battle that they went to, and they fought Button, one of the leaders of the treason that nearly destroyed the house. They found him. He was aboard the station. He seemed to be powered with some sort of strange mutated version of the Kashoans, that sort of gave him superpowers of a sense. Oda won that battle and then cut out his heart. Now the thing is, his heart was a Kashoan crystal that was corrupted. He then communed with the Kashoans, and then through that purified the heart, and then he shoved the crystalline heart to where his hearts are. The crystal then replaced his hearts, and now he has a purple Kashoan crystalline heart structure that does pump his blood. And as far as Starfleet Medical is concerned, I will point out that Dr. Efrix is the Starfleet expert on Kashoan crystals. He seems to be fine. It is pumping blood like it's supposed to. It's acting like a heart. And it seems to be helping with his healing factor. The problem is that it reacts to his emotional state. So if he's rather calm and collected and centered, he will heal a little faster. If he gets really angry, I don't mean like a little frustrated, like I stubbed my toe or you took my drink. It's like you shot my father, prepare to die sort of anger. It can actually hurt him. He'll actually start experiencing, he likely will experience radiation poisoning from the crystal. Because the crystal is made of the healing aspects of the Kashoans and the destructive elements of the Kashoans.
Okay. I immediately... Peter. Sick beta, Captain.
Speak.
Well, Captain, I appreciate you giving me access to this file. I would love to examine you in sick bay at your earliest convenience, preferably right now.
When I have time, Surgeon. For now, your presence is required at on the training bay.
GM, let me know if this is too far. I want to try to coerce his character into coming.
Opposed presence command.
With that, I'm going to declare a talent.
Actually, I'm going to walk that back. It would be presence medicine because you're trying to assert your medical authority.
Okay. So for that, I think so there's a talent that covers that on an official basis called
Doctor's orders.
I was
Yeah.
going to declare that talent, but you're giving it. Yeah. When you attempt a task to coordinate others or to coerce someone into taking or refraining from a specific course of action, you can use your medical discipline. So just
I would take that. I would take that here. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and declare that.
Captain, you are rolling presence command in that case. For your opposition.
Okay.
No momentum is being generated because it's two PCs arguing with each other. And presumably you're on the same side.
Well, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So the roll is presence medicine.
For you, yes. Presence command for him. You can buy more dice with threat or momentum.
I will buy 2 dice by adding to threat.
So that's 3 threat to me.
So that would make my total 4 dice, correct?
Correct.
Because my stat for presence is not great. And I don't know. Would I have a focus for this?
You might have something like this from your time with the Federation. Something like I'm trying to think of the wording for it right now. Medical authority, maybe, for lack of a better wording.
Like Klingon medical protocols, like something like I have your authority. Like it's kind of like the Starfleet kind of philosophy of the captain is in control of everything but the health and safety of the crew. The health and safety of the crew is up to the chief medical officer. Something like that. Like, hopefully that makes sense. Like, you
could take that. You could take that as Klingon medical protocols. I will add though that in Klingon verse, the surgeon's job is to patch up warriors to get them back into battle. So long as they can fight, they are to get out there and fight and die for the Empire. So your duty is to make sure the officers and warriors under your care are fit for duty.
But see, my thing is with this. I mean, I know from being half Klingon that Klingon anger is not something to think that won't ever happen.
Oh yeah.
Because so I know that if he were to be in an aggressive state, that he could die.
So you're starting an argument with me.
Yes.
I mean, this
Those
could
are-
be considered a diagnostic to see, your responses.
Yeah. So I will take that focus. I'm just flavoring it so you know that the context is somewhat different. The captains of ships can totally order their people to die from broken lakes and stuff, so long as they can keep fighting.
Okay.
It's not ideal, but
Well, I did terribly on the roll, so you have fun.
Okay, presence command. I'll give you a momentum and 2 threat for bold and 4 dice. Intimidation for a focus.
yeah.
Oh.
Extraordinary attribute presence means you just get 1 success plus whatever you roll, right?
Yeah, if I activate it, I've got to up my comp range to do that. I don't think I'm gonna do that for this one. I will invoke either leader of House SupQuit'aH, Dahar Master, or Hero of Story and Song traits to leverage something there, maybe.
I'll take the head of the house one.
Okay.
Oh God. All right. Well.
You get the distinct feeling, Surgeon, that if you aren't on the training floor by the time he gets there, he's going to invoke his authority as a house leader and have you summarily punished. Not exactly what Starfleet would do or the Federation, but you're getting that vibe without him saying it in so many words.
I will see you in Training Bay 1, Doctor.
Yes, Captain. I'll make sure to bring I will make sure to bring a med kit and a emergency surgery kit, just in case.
Oh, Oda logged off as soon as he said he'd see you at the deck. So,
Captain, hello. Oh, okay. I get up and go.
Getting hit with paint sticks on the first day for disobedience would be impressive.
Crawl would be at the head of the line.
What should I use? Well, I am going to use this.
Doesn't seem like a very OSHA.
Yeah, I love how Klingons build stuff. There's just this, walkway above an endless pit on the board of ship for reasons.
I've gotten so much mileage out of this tile, I swear.
It's true.
I think this was one of the titles for when Oda jumped to the platform and then got stabbed, and that's when you got the implant, I think.
Well, no, this was like he killed the guy he jumped into melee with, but then there was a guy that was on here, but then the guy over here just shot him with a disruptor pistol.
Oh yeah.
And, that was on just one of the first episodes you joined us for on Quonos.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, Doctor's here. Where are you, Doctor? There you. I said, there you are. There. I really gotta fix this, but I'll fix it later.
I did send you something in Discord.
Well, too bad.
Hugely consequential.
Oh yes. Yeah, you could take that talent there.
Well, the talent's not in question; it's the description. I wanted to make sure that was not an issue.
Oh.
As flavor.
that last part wouldn't be, because SupQuit'ah's story is that he wasn't a noble to begin with. He earned it through valor, through service. So he's not descended from him at all. But he's important. He lived in the same. He lived like a generation after the guy.
Oh,
so he's.
But yeah, no, the house. Yeah, but all you'd have to do is marry one person from another.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that would. Yeah, sure, I'll take that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not claiming that he is, but that we are.
That yeah, at some point you must have married into one noble house or another. By this point, yeah, it's been over 1,000 years. Something must have happened along the way.
Also, yeah, just having imperial blood might be almost seen as a requirement to be a great house, I think.
I have disruptor cannons that argue with you, but no. So you have.
Oh yeah, I declare that I'm gonna take a security of 3, the focus of Makbra, and an ancestral blade.
Okay. I need to pull up her stats because I have had to fight with her. I've only fought with her once.
Sure. First game, take on the GM's favorite NPC. Way to go, man.
Yeah, I mentioned this very early in the character idea. He's definitely not being surprised by it.
I know.
You feel free to describe your weapon. You have a special item, don't you?
Yeah. Chio will pull out of a cloth a batleth that has had in its blade etched the lineage of Chio back through Nilsh, also highlighting Oda, and anyone who has been deemed important as a leader of House SupQuit'aH. So not every leader of House SupQuit'aH is in the lineage.
All the notables.
But all the notables are.
Like, yeah, there's this one like HUD so and so who didn't do a whole lot, but you know.
It's, we're talking about generations in the 20s and 30s. Like,
yeah,
there may be 30 generations back to the beginning of the Empire, so not everyone can be listed.
Yeah,
right.
Cecile is armed has no armor. She just has a batleth, a rather nice batleth. Pius Bolvar, I will educate you on how much I've learned of the Klingon people and how much I bring from the Orion. And she takes a stance.
I'm sure you will try.
You can roll to attack first at your leisure, since you're the one who issued the challenge. Unless you want to wait for her to swing first. I assume not.
No, if she's not gonna lunge first, I'm definitely not gonna hold back.
Are you swinging for lethal?
Yes.
1 threat is generated. Are you buying any dice?
Yeah, we'll buy a 3rd dice.
Additional threat.
Oh my god.
Oh no!
Oh, sneaky Orion.
I might.
It's the headache from the pheromones.
Would I need to declare a value now?
Yes.
Or would I have already needed to declare it?
You could declare a value now, yep.
Okay, because I'm gonna have to spin a determination, and the one I have is not applicable, I don't think, because we both would claim what I'm saying, I think. What's a good value for this?
Let's check some SupQuit'aH ones. There's some examples in there. Put them in Discord. I mean, they're short on screen, but just faster. Those are common House SupQuit'aH values. Oh, okay.
Would you accept, in cases where you've started to fail at something important, but you're just gonna try to push through it, would you accept something like, when you start to falter, push harder?
Start to falter, push harder? Yeah, I'd take that.
Just like trying to make it through on sheer aggression instead of taking your time to fix whatever's wrong. Alright, then I'll spin that on a determination to reroll, or else I'm gonna need a new character very soon. Yeah, that's 2 successes.
Yep, you have 1 up on her. Roll damage.
We do in momentum here, GM, or no?
No momentum generated here.
Okay.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, actually.
I only have a security of 4, and the battle is the ballot 3? It's 3+1, right? It's not 4+1.
I believe it's 3+1, yeah.
Yeah, and then my security, because House SupQuit'aH is also 3+1, so that's 8 total.
Yeah, so that's the right amount of dice, yeah.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 stress. Spending 2 threat, she's avoiding the injury.
I only have 1 momentum, so there's not much to do.
Well, no momentum generated because you're 2 friendlies fighting each other.
Oh, okay. I assume since... Okay. That's fair.
On the flip side, she doesn't get to pull from threat. that's limiting her options. You can add to threat, but she hasn't been adding to it yet.
She can spin what I spin, though, right? If I give you 3 threat, she can spin that back at me?
No, because she's like a player character. She can add to threat, but she can't spend.
Oh, she's adding to threat also. Okay.
Yep.
That is a unique way of doing that. Yeah, I'd very well pass.
You may slay me here, Chio, but that does not excuse your heritage or your duties. My blood does not clean you. Only your virtues and valors do.
Ooh, that's harsh.
She is rolling Insight Command versus your Presence Command as she's trying to stress you out by shaking your resolve. She's not fighting you like a Klingon, she's fighting you like an Orion.
Which I feel vindicates me to a little bit.
With permission, she would like to spend as much threat as possible.
I'll spend it.
So you're both adding.
This is not opposed, right? Or is it opposed?
It is opposed, yep.
Presence command?
Presence command for you, yeah. She's trying to see through you and poke at a weakness that she may perceive.
Alright, I'm going to take a focus of bold command. A talent of bold command.
She can't activate any of her values because there's no momentum on the table, so she can't. But she does get an addition. Oh wait,
acting like a player character, then you wouldn't think she'd have to.
she's an NPC. She's an NPC friendly though. That's what's limiting her. Oh, I don't have to buy as much. She actually adds one less threat because she gets one of those for free because of the tactic she's using. She does have a focus. This is your best bet, lady. Good luck.
Oh, I probably do need to add a value because dealing with hurling insults and being a good speaker is part of my job.
Yeah, but you did spend your determination.
No, not a value of focus.
Oh, yeah.
I may have said focus. Trying to think.
All right. No. Can't do math.
Would you accept a focus in oratory? Just someone who's for speaking eloquently in general?
Yeah, I would take that.
Okay. Then I'll use a focus in oratory. I'll re-roll a 19. Oh, God.
I'll take the first one.
See, it's easy to do.
That is an 18, unfortunately.
Yeah, she's gonna win. Two.
She will add a threat to re-roll.
Y'all need to hurry this up, or the GM's going to call down like 6 board cubes before it's all over.
I mean, this is mostly his fault, though.
Force stress. You know what? She'll spend one more threat to try to stress you out to the point of losing resolve and fighting her. You can either, given this is a social attack, you're not taken out of the fight immediately because you're a PC. Instead, you can either back off from this conflict, or you can power through, but all your actions are at +1 difficulty because she's very distracting. Or you can spend 2 to avoid the injury.
Yeah, I will avoid.
Okay. Turn goes back to you.
Yeah, if I had wanted a contest of words, I would have made that the contest. So I will not give it to that. I will try to hit her again.
Okay. Swinging for lethal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll give you 1 threat. And let's hope I don't screw up as bad as the first time.
she'll add to threat. Buy a die,
I think
because...
complications are going to be a theme with me.
Oops, that's not right. Yeah, I was right the first time. She can reroll that 19. Two. 2 hits.
Yeah, I have one with a complication. And she didn't go lethal.
Your complication makes it lethal, even though she didn't declare it. Which reduces it by 1 due to... Oh, you don't have armor on. So your natural Brecklow does not come into effect. And, 1 moment. Ask your tour guide anything. Can lore singers do a rap battle to establish dominance, and why are we not doing that now? That's kind of what she challenged earlier, but it's... She can't demand... They don't have European-style dueling rules. They decide which is the most honorable way to handle this, and Chio insisted on traditional methods, and Tasir wasn't... didn't insist the other way, because you shouldn't, as a Klingon.
Do I not have... I thought 1 resistance armor was standard issue.
Oh, if you have your armor, sure. I don't know if you're wearing the armor or not. That reduces it to 6 stress. That's still an injury.
Doesn't matter, because I'm going to have to burn a value to not go down. To get another determination.
You could challenge one of the dictates to get a determination.
What dictates are those?
They are listed. I'll relist them again.
Are those the ones that Oda has given?
Yep.
I'd be surprised if there was anything I could use in there. The second one.
Yeah.
The third one, probably, because you're leaning so hard on tradition.
It's up to you which one you wish to challenge.
Yeah, but she's engaging in the tradition too, and it's an honor duel, so the third one might be hard. But the second one,
Fair.
Yeah, I'm definitely denying her some payment that others might think she deserves for service to the house.
I will certainly take that challenge to the dictate.
So, what happens when a PC challenges a dictate?
They gain a determination point, and they have a reputation ding because it's obvious to other people that they acted against standing orders.
Okay.
Now, whether or not the head of the household takes further action, that's up to them. But the reputation alone, even if you do nothing, is still it might be hurt. Some people might not care. It depends how the dice roll.
So we mean the dice roll at the end. We don't mean I just lose 1 off of reputation.
No, you have to. It's a roll.
Okay.
It just increases it by 1. Yep.
Yeah, because it's either that or burn the value that I just read.
Yeah, really. You're going through your first value, I presume, to re-roll. Re-roll to stay standing.
And I have a value that it's Kalis, Gupta, and Oda in that order, so I already valued the house over Oda, so I'm not worried about burning. I'm not worried about using the dictate.
Okay.
Because I value the house.
So you, despite being
only slightly more than Oda.
She cuts into you, and she wasn't really swinging for lethal, but you just happened to lean, you ducked left instead of right, and just took it right into the neck, and you power through it. You're bleeding pretty bad, but you're powering through it through sheer determination and will.
As I'm watching this, do I see this injury as being potentially lethal?
Yeah.
If the fight continues.
If it isn't treated by the end of the scene, she's gonna die.
Yeah, because using determination means I still have the injury.
Yep.
It just means I don't go down.
Yeah, she's acting despite her lethal injury. Most people would have fell down.
Okay. As I see this, I turn to Oda and I go, "Stop this at once. She's gonna die."
Oda backhands him that standard Klingon reprimand, not trying to I might bruise him or something, but I'm not swinging lethally, but that Klingon reprimand.
The question is, Eston, do you take the reprimand? Like, do you take it on the chin, or do you dodge away from it?
I think that my brain is so much in doctor mode that I didn't even think that being reprimanded was an option. So I think I'm just going to take it.
It's like, you're not standing there out of, I'm going to take my licks. It's like, what? Whack, ow, why?
Can I do...
This is a duel of honor.
Yeah, so
she chose this path. We will not interfere until things are ended.
I kind of grab my cheek and okay. I apologize, Captain.
You are no longer in the Federation, Doctor.
You could hear the cheers of the bloodthirsty Klingons who are loving this blood sport.
And Oda is obviously excited by the fight too, because
How much does she look like she has in her? Like, does she look like she's still got a lot of fight left, or?
She looks pretty tired. She is a lore singer first, a warrior second. Although she does display that she has the talent of warrior spirit. She knows how to fight like a Klingon. She's choosing not to. Like, she's actively not trying to kill you. She just happened to hit you in the neck.
All right. Can I, instead of attacking this round?
Well, you swung this round.
I thought she swung it. Was it me?
It was you, yeah.
Okay, never mind. I take back.
Do you wish a swift task?
Will you take threat for a swift task?
I certainly will.
Well, then I'll give you 2 threat.
Sure.
He's going to kill us all.
I'm going to grab the blade and smile at her, trying to intimidate her.
Okay, presence plus security or command, your call. She is rolling fitness plus or presence plus the same. I will note she gets 1 free d20 because she is dauntless.
Oh. Well, I didn't really know that beforehand.
No, just letting you know.
Oh yeah, and this is yeah, I was planning on doing this to gain an advantage. I don't know if that changes if it needs to be opposed or not.
It's still opposed in this case, yeah.
Okay.
It's just that instead of doing stress damage to her to get her to concede, you're trying to gain an advantage, a standing advantage.
I might go ahead and do stress damage if it's opposed.
Yep.
I didn't realize that it would be opposed if I was just trying to do an advantage creation.
Fair enough.
Oh, and I'll give you 1 threat for a 3rd die.
Sure.
And it is command.
No. Say it ain't so.
I don't really want to take bold security. I'd prefer to take bold con, so... I have bold command, so it makes more sense.
Wait, is that right? Yeah.
Oh, and I probably need to take a focus in intimidation.
It's a pretty safe one for most Klingons to have.
Bold con would be good. We don't have anybody who...
If you were...
Well, yeah, my other main stat is con for matter of law and lore. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm planning on taking bold con. Like my 2 stats, you take like the 2 stats to start off with. I took con and command.
Spillsbury Bob, take bold, everything like a champ. Well, that's what Hona's done. That's what all his talents are. They're all bold.
Yeah, I didn't. Throwing caution to the wind. That is 4 successes for me.
Oh, whoops, 3. I heard you say 4 and I started typing it. Yeah, you won out.
Oh no, I won't.
Roll your challenge. Roll your command in challenge dice. Momentum is temporary. Threat is eternal.
If she's still up, I might give you threat to reroll on.
You're one short. Oh, actually, wait, hold on. 4. Is that enough to drop her anyway? That is not enough to drop her out of it. So you can reroll or you can add to damage.
Was I given a free hint that she has 1 left?
All I'm saying is that she is not down yet.
I'll go ahead and reroll it. I have the likelihood is that you get a 1. Unless you're... Oh, that's reputation. Wrong box. Not only did I roll it, but I got a complication on it. Nope.
I will take you adding to threat if you want.
But if you if you blow up the ship with the Borg cube, I'm gonna feel guilty.
We're at 41. I think that ship's kind of sailed, honestly.
All right. I'm guessing how much I need to give you. I'll give you 3.
Okay. 3 is indeed enough. As she kind of... She stares you in the face and she balks at the glare. The fact that you're... she got you on the neck. She wasn't even trying to hit you there. And she did considerable damage. But you're just smiling through it. Like, that is freaky. And... She may be trying very hard to be a Klingon. She's trying to live like a Klingon, but she isn't one. She has an Orion heart and Orion blood, and this chills it. This is Klingon intimidation at its highest. And frankly, your SupQuit'aH blood is very much showing here. SupQuit'aH warriors are known for being kind of crazy like this. So... The question becomes, as she kind of balks and backs away from you, letting her weapon drop to the floor, what do you do?
I will relieve her shoulders of their burden unless Oda steps in. Because I imagine he has the right to do that, and he might be inclined to. But if he doesn't, then I will finish it.
I will note, Oda, that you as a house leader do have the authority to stop any conflict in your presence because you're the leader. However, this would be considered challenging a standing tradition in Klingon honor duels. You'll get a rep ding for this if you step in.
Oh, but Cecile, she's very important.
If it makes it less, like, I'm not gonna wait long. Like, if you could, if you wanted to, you could say that you thought about it, but it's a quick glance over at Oda.
Right.
GM, could I, in this moment, not saying anything, look at Captain Oda with just sort of a glance that says, please just let me step in?
You could, yeah. It'd be obvious.
Oof, that's a tough decision as a player.
Yeah.
Okay, however, I know what the dictates say. Hold!
I will stop millimeters from her neck.
Gio, you are victor in this duel.
I will.
I ask for Cecile's life.
I'm kind of put off by him putting the decision on me instead of just demanding that something be done. Like, asking to not do it is...
Fair enough.
I'm
fair
not sure
enough.
what to do in that situation. 'Cause
Okay. I'll rephrase then if you'll let me, GM.
I will, sure.
Gio, you are the winner of this duel. However, I claim the life of Sasir to do with as I wish, as Joe of SupQuit'aH.
I will look down and sneer at Sasir, and I will give her a scar to remember me by, but then I will step away.
Yep.
Honoring Oda's request.
And as you step away...
Not request, honoring his demand.
Yeah, as you step away, I'm immediately, without even thinking to dictate to the captain, I gently touch Sasir's shoulder and move her away.
Oh, as you move over, spending all the threat.
Oh my god, no, please.
Don't worry, we're gonna blame it on Oda.
Come on, it's my first day. No, don't do this.
A massive explosion rocks the ship.
Oh no!
All of you make a fitness plus con roll, difficulty of 3, to keep your ground or go tumbling over the railing. I'm gonna randomly roll to see if any of these guys fall. 2, 3, 4, 6, 9. Ah! Ah!
I'm gonna take bold con now.
Okay.
Not for the reason of being good at keeping my balance, but because I need it, and this is a con roll.
I think you should have the Wilhelm scream lined up for these scenes just like this.
I mean, I have no choice. I already have my plans for my other stats, so I have no choice but to declare Khan as my 1.
Everything Wilhelm screams, chat. Please, no railing. You're right. Well, the graphic shows there are railings. They're just not very good. I imagine being Star Trek, they probably give at like the slightest shove, like they just fold completely. Look, railings. Ah.
Def 3, goodness gracious. Okay, take 3 threat for 4 dice from Oda.
Sure.
I'm gonna give you 6. Because I do not want to die this in the first episode.
If I am really, really cautious about giving you more threat, but I mean my target number is 10. Like I can't do anything.
Although it won't be the first time that Corbinians killed one of my characters in their first episode.
Ooh, maybe about to kill my character in this episode.
I will give you how much threat? Okay, momentum. Okay, great.
Oda will spend a value to reroll 3. How about I travel the River of Blood? There's apparently a fight on hand, and I need to keep traveling the river to deal with it.
Sure.
Okay. So I'll reroll 3.
I'm trying to decide if it's worth it to take a focus in fitness.
Oh wait, that's wrong. It's
probably not.
13. Cancel.
Oh, thank God. Oh, that's actually more. I actually got... Oh, no, I don't have a focus, so I got 4 successes.
There we go. Oda just made it.
I'm going to buy dice with... I'm going to buy 3 more dice using 5 threat.
I took your threat.
We do have 1 momentum now if anyone needs it.
Oh, okay. I will be using that momentum, and then I will add 3 threat to get 2 more dice.
And I imagine that 18, you're not rerolling that for Chio?
Oh, do I have a... Oh, +4 for the next comp roll after Oda. That means me?
Yep.
I don't... Oh, I do have bold con. Yeah, let me reroll it.
Okay.
If I would have read what you wrote, I might have been sneaky like a Romulan and let him roll first.
Okay.
I got a success.
Okay,
So
there.
we actually get one more momentum.
There you go. So you're adding. So there's 1 momentum on the table. You're giving me how much threat?
I'm using a momentum, and I'm giving you 3 threat.
Roger.
And then my complication rate is just the same, right? There isn't.
Actually, I'm gonna put it back up at the request of chat. So 2, 3,
Oh, that's who we need to blame for all
4, 5. Comp range of 5. Blame chat. They gave me the idea.
Okay. That's 3 successes. An unbelievable roll for me. And I am going to burn a termination with my value, eager to prove myself.
Okay.
Can I just ignore the complication then, or do I have to reroll?
You have to reroll. Yep.
Okay.
When he said that, the first thing that I thought was, look, Oda, no hands.
Jesus Christ.
Superstar. Sorry, couldn't help it.
All right, here we go.
Do you think you're what they say?
Oh my
you are?
god.
That's still a comp. Yep.
Yeah. All right. I'll
It's
take
still 16? What was the comp range? 4?
5.
5. Oh. Okay.
it. All right. Well, I succeeded.
Ah!
There's complication.
I love the falling Klingon sound effect. Yeah.
And then Sasir.
I'm tempted to help.
Fitness plus con. That's not bad for her, actually. She would like to take a momentum.
GM.
Yeah.
Since I was about to push past her, my hand is physically touching her arm. Can I help her?
Sure, I'll let you assist her roll.
What am I assisting with?
Fitness plus con.
All right.
So, wait, 3 dice. Fitness plus con's 16. I'll note her difficulties +1 because she's socially injured. She's kind of shaken, so she's not thinking very straight right now.
And I have to wait for your roll to see if she...
Yeah, she has to get at least 1 hit for your things to go off. 2 hits?
Okay.
Well, 1 hit effectively because of the increased difficulty.
For her, the diff was 4?
Yeah.
Oh, she's going over.
All right. I got her. I tried.
Ah!
I am disappointed that I had to spare her, and then she died anyways.
Yeah, I'm disappointed that I intervened and she had to die.
Although I'm happy she's dead because I did not want to deal with her.
She disappears into the dark. The ship alarms are roaring, and there's chaos. But to determine...
Our host from the GM with all that information. Sorry.
But as to what became of those Klingons who fell in the darkness, and in fact the heartbroken lore singer, many other questions have to be answered, but that will have to be answered next time. Of course, thanks music courtesy of Kevin McLeod at incompetech.com. Please check out his music. That's where almost all the music comes from. Didn't play any of Wingless Seraph's music, but please check out Wingless Seraph for all your other musical needs if you like nice high action music for your games as well. And thanks to everyone who's been playing and watching, and we'll catch you all next time. Have a good one. And oh wait, nope. Let's try that again. Here we go.
I'm gonna swear before the stream ends.